Many people consider the Xbox 360 to be among the greatest video game consoles of all time, myself included. Now, admittedly, at the time of its release, I wasn't on the Xbox 360 bandwagon. Heck, I wasn't even really an Xbox guy. I was primarily into PlayStation, specifically PlayStation 3 at that time. When Xbox 360 was in its heyday, I had a roommate in college that had a 360, and we used to play countless hours of Halo and Gears of War together. It wasn't until the pandemic when I really started getting serious about collecting for Xbox 360. So, in today's video, I'd like to walk you through all 138 of my physical Xbox 360 games, as well as point out to you some of the ones that are more obscure, more valuable in nature, and ones that just completely flew under my radar and could be considered hidden gems. I can't wait to share this video with you. Let's get to it. Okay, I'm really excited to share these games with you today. So, getting started, the first one we have 2010 FIFA World Cup South Africa. Now, I've not played this one. It's one that I picked up in the last year or so. Clearly, it's a little bit dated, being 2010 version. But I'll give this a try at some point. I'm sure it'd be a lot of fun to kick the soccer ball around and maybe bring home a World Cup for the United States. Next is a game I have not yet had a chance to play, but I'm looking forward to it. Afro Samurai. Now, this one, I believe, has members of the Wu-Tang Clan performing some of the voiceovers. It looks like it's an awesome sort of hack and slash game in the style of like Tenchu. But I haven't played this yet. Looking forward to it. If you've played it, please let me know because I'm very excited to check this one out. This is probably going to be one that I get to very, very soon. Next up, a game I believe most everyone here is familiar with, Alan Wake. So I first played this game either on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. I can't really remember. Could have even been on Steam. Alan Wake, I know a lot of people love it. This just didn't really pull me in. I was pretty captivated for what I'd say probably halfway through the game. And then I just got kind of annoyed with the whole premise of it and wasn't really following where they were going with it. So I know people live by this game and swear by it. I'll have to give it another try at some point. If I'm a complete idiot on this opinion, please let me know in the comments because I'd love to be shown that I'm wrong and just go back and enjoy this game. Next, a snowboarding game. This is Amp 3. I've not played it, but I grabbed it because it says it's exclusive to the Xbox 360. I'm sure it will be a lot of fun. I grew up with SSX and 1080 snowboarding, so this will be right up my alley. I'm very excited to play this at some point. Here's a game I know nothing about. Arcana Gothic 4. I think this might be an RPG game. It's one of the ones that I picked up right before the Xbox 360 online storefront closed. So I gotta admit, a lot of what you're going to see here in this video is a lot of games I haven't played yet because I went a little trigger happy trying to buy up physical games before the store closed forever. So this is one of those games. If you've played this one, please let me know. I'm curious to know what this is about. Next up, it's a game no one's ever heard of, Assassin's Creed. This is the original OG one. I can't remember if I've actually played the original Assassin's Creed or if I just picked up and started in the later versions. I want to say I have played this, but I honestly can't remember. And if you were to give me a pop quiz on how many Assassin's Creed games are there, I have no idea. I'd probably guess maybe 20. I don't know if that's right or not, but Assassin's Creed. I'm sure you've heard of it. You've probably played it. Everyone knows what to expect with Assassin's Creed. Here's a game. I love the artwork. I love the smiley face on the grenade. This is Battlefield Bad Company. So I've not yet played this one. I'm looking forward to it. So the Xbox 360 is well known for being a console home to great shooter games. This is no exception from everything that I've heard or read about it. So looking forward to having some mindless fun with this in the campaign mode. And then following up with that, I also have the sequel, Battlefield Bad Company 2, which again, I expect it's more of the same, maybe some enhanced graphics, maybe some improved battle, but I'm excited to play it. And then also we have Battlefield 3, the limited edition. So I'm assuming this is very much like the previous two games I just spoke of. I won't take up your time going through Battlefield, but should be fun time. Here's a game that was exclusive to the Xbox 360. This is Beautiful Katamari. This is one of the ones that the price started to pick up a little bit right before the Xbox Online storefront closed. So I ended up getting this for about 40 bucks or something, if I'm not mistaken. But I absolutely love this game. I love all the Katamari games. There's just so much creativity in them. It's so fun to just roll up things and create planets or stars or whatever it is you're creating in the game. Highly recommend this one if you own an Xbox 360 or have the Series X that can play these backward compatible games. Definitely check this out. It's worth your time. Here's an odd one. This was released by Burger King, of all places. This is called Big Bumpin'. I've not yet played this, but you can see it's got the Burger King himself. Looks like he's in a go-kart with some other people. I think this is just a really cheap budget title, something promotional that they gave out, sort of like as a Happy Meal sort of prize. I know Happy Meal is McDonald's, but this was like Burger King's answer to the Happy Meals. So I'll check it out at some point. I'm not expecting much from this game. Next up, a fighting game. I don't know if it's pronounced Blaze Blue or Blaz Blue, but this is the Continuum Shift. Now, I have put this into my 360 and played it. Specifically, I connected it to my Mayflash F500 fight stick, which I love. If you don't have an arcade stick, I absolutely recommend it. A lot of fun to play this game. I have no idea what's going on. I don't really know anything about the story, but I was just mashing buttons, moving the joystick, having a good old time with it. I don't know if it's the best fighting game out there. I'm not really that big of a aficionado of fighting games, but I had a good time with it. Here's a game I spent a little bit of time with. It's called Blood Drive. So that's what you would expect. You get into a car and you just start mowing down zombies. It's kind of like Twisted Metal meets The Walking Dead in a way. I put maybe an hour or two into this. I don't remember this game having a whole lot of depth to it. I'll have to go back and give it another try to see if that's still accurate today or if I just had other games that I was trying to play. I'll be honest with you guys. I usually play about 12 games at a time. I just shift off whatever I'm playing. So this could have been one of the ones where, as I was playing the other 11 games, I just decided, oh, hey, something else has my attention more stronger. I didn't really continue with this, but let me know if you've played this one. Here's another Xbox 360 exclusive. It's called Blue Dragon. So this was the art style is created by the same guy that made the Dragon Ball Z series. So I picked this up. I played it for probably close to 40 hours. I definitely need to go back and give it more time because I've heard that it gets pretty good as the action starts to pick up more. But I love collecting things that are exclusive to the console that I'm talking about. So you'll hear more exclusives coming up in this video. This is a game I heard about for a long time. I recently acquired this. It's Blur. So this was described to me as kind of like a more realistic racing game, but with Mario Kart or Diddy Kong racing elements. So you've got power ups, you've got the ability to shoot like rockets and missiles at your competitors. It's pretty fun. I think I went into it expecting more out of it than what it delivered on, only because I feel like it was really hyped up. And also, it was really hard to find when the Xbox store closed. But glad to have a copy of it. I'm definitely going to play more of it. I'm curious if you've played this one and what you think of it. I think it's also on PlayStation 3. Might be a little bit cheaper over there if you don't have it on 360. Here's a game most of you are going to be familiar with. This is Borderlands. This is the Game of the Year edition. So I've not played this. I think the first Borderlands I ever started with was Borderlands 2. And I think I alluded to in a previous video, the Borderlands 2 game that I played didn't really pull me in like I was expecting to. So I'll probably start here with this one, give it all an entire reboot, and see if this pulls me in, because I've heard great things. And I know Borderlands 4 is coming out in a little bit. People are excited for that. This is a series that I'm way behind on that I need to get caught up with. Here's a game that recently came out on Xbox Game Pass. This is Brutal Legend. So I believe this has Jack Black just going through like a fantasy world, playing heavy metal on his guitar, beating up a bunch of enemies. I think it's just a beat 'em up game. I haven't played it yet, but I'm not sure yet if I'm going to play this physical copy that I have, if I'm going to play it over on the Game Pass. But I'm excited to jump into it and check it out. Next up, here's a game that I own on multiple systems. I have this one on PlayStation 3 also. They've also re released it on PlayStation 4, if I'm not mistaken. This is Bulletstorm Epic Edition. This game does not take itself seriously at all. If you're a fan of the movie Starship Troopers, you'll fit right at home with this game, with its gameplay, its humor, its narrative style, everything about that. I had a good time just trucking through this game, shooting things. There's all these like weird combos that you could do, like freeze time and like slap someone in the face with their own hand or their own gun or whatever. Um, it's really kind of mindless fun. So I recommend this if you haven't played it before. Here we have Burnout Revenge. So I haven't played this copy. I think I also have this one on PlayStation 2. Played it over there. Now, it has a fun premise to it. I think this is one of the first Burnout games that introduced the collision trials. So basically, you just go through and try to create as big of an accident mess and damage as possible. Really cool premise to that. I had a lot of fun with that because, let's be honest, I'm not the best at racing games. So if I'm ever able to just go ahead and create accidents, that's usually what I tend to do. Um, Growing up as a kid, we had one of those NEC PC machines that I used to play the NASCAR game. Didn't know anything about NASCAR, not a fan of NASCAR, but I used to take the car, turn it around, go in reverse, and just crash into everyone. So creating mayhem in racing games is definitely up my alley. Next up, a lot of you are going to be familiar with this one, Call of Duty Black Ops. This is a game I didn't play at the time when it was first released. I've started playing this one in the last month or so. This is in one of my 12 games in rotation currently. I'm going through the campaign on this. I'm having fun with it. I mean, I like just going through and understanding what's going on and joining my team and shooting at enemies. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I'm excited to play after that Call of Duty Black Ops 2. This is another one that I missed the boat on initially. I'll get to it eventually, but I don't need to tell you all about this. I'm sure you're familiar with the Call of Duty games. And speaking of, we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, another one I haven't played. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, and then Call of Duty World at War. So again, I'm tremendously behind on everything Call of Duty. I've never been the type to play them on multiplayer because I'm just not good enough to hang with the cool kids. But I will play all these at some point. Again, it's fun to just sit back with the Xbox 360 and play these shooters. Here's another game I purchased called Chrome Hounds that's exclusive to the Xbox 360. It's developed by From Software, so it's the same folks that made your Elden Rings and Dark Souls games. So I'm excited to check this out. I think this might be an online only game. I'm not really too certain, but I can't wait to play this one. It should be a lot of fun, just getting in a mech or a tank and blowing up stuff. Okay, so continuing on the theme of game series that I completely missed the boat on, this is Command and Conquer Red Alert 3. This looks like a lot of fun on the back. It looks like basically StarCraft meets more modern type of gaming, which I believe is what Command and Conquer is anyway, just real time strategy. I am very excited to play this at some point. I'm sure I'm going to love it. I actually have the OG Command and Conquer. Actually, I think they made that remastered. But whatever the more recent Command and Conquer is that's true to the original, I have that on my Steam Deck. I'm going to play that at some point. I'm going to get into this too. I'm sure I'm going to love it. Next up, we have Condemned Criminal Origins. I have played this one. This one is kind of spooky in that there's a serial killer on the loose, and you're a police detective trying to hunt them down. And along the way, you're on all this really crazy stuff. There's like a bunch of drug addicts in the sewer system or the metro system. You get attacked by random people. You don't know who did it, and you're just really trying to catch this killer. I didn't finish this game. I got pretty far into it. This is one I'll have to go back into and complete. I know there's also a sequel to it as well that I look forward to checking out at some point, but if you've played this, let me know, please. Here's a game I recently completed, and I absolutely loved it. Now, to be clear, I don't think this is what you would consider to be a great game. The gameplay is very repetitive. The story didn't really have the greatest amount of depth to it, but I didn't really care. What I loved about this game is that you can power up your main character. And I had a guy that at one point was like literally jumping the entire height of buildings, so just leaping up to buildings and jumping across buildings. That's what I had a lot of fun doing. So um, I know there's a Crackdown 2 and a Crackdown 3. I do own those at least digitally, so I will be getting to those at some point. But I had a really fun time with this. Curious to know if anyone else has played this game and what they think of it as well. Yeah, not the best game, but I really liked it. Here's another game that I've recently been playing. This is Darksiders. So the whole premise here is you are one of the four horsemen, and there's, I think, the Armageddon battle is going on between heaven and hell, and someone's not really playing by the rules. Both sides aren't playing by the rules. I can't really remember the specifics, but you basically have to come down as one of the horsemen and kind of keep everyone in check and kind of toe the line with everyone. So it's fun. It's a beat 'em up game. You're just going down there, hacking and slashing stuff, brute forcing things. Pretty mindless fun. It's got like a God of War style and feel to it. So I'm liking it so far. And when I finish that one, I'll also be playing Darksiders 2. I think I own these also on either PlayStation 4 or some other system out there. Here we have Dark Souls 2. So I actually own all of the Dark Souls games either on a combo of my PlayStation 4 or my Xbox One. So I probably won't ever actually play this copy of the game. I'll play it on the Xbox One, I believe. But I've heard mixed results about the second one here. Curious to know your thoughts on this one. Here's a game I know nothing about. This is one of the ones that I picked up as the Xbox store was closing. This is called Dark Star 1 Broken Alliance. It says on the back in Dark Star 1, command the mysterious spacecraft, allowing near infinite customization capabilities using the latest and even mysterious alien weapons and technologies. I don't know. I probably won't like this, but I'll give it a try and I'll let you all know at some point after I do decide to play it. Here's a game that I recently completed. I actually really like this game. I almost want to say I loved this game. This had a lot of personality going for it. I mean, it's Deadpool, right? What is there not to like about Deadpool? It's just very irreverent in its approach to storytelling, a lot of comedy, comedic relief. I know that this game is getting up there in price. I think this is also on the Xbox One, if I'm not mistaken, and some of the other consoles. I think it's a little bit cheaper on the more modern ones, but I think this one has been like in the $70 or $80 range, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe the price has come down lately because I've heard that the Xbox 360 market is recovering a little bit from the craze recently. But anyway, if you can get a copy of this, definitely worth your time. It's not too long either. I think I beat this in like 8 or 10 hours or something like that, but I had a lot of fun with it. Here's another game that I had a lot of fun with, Dead Rising. I know these are kind of polarizing, people who love them or hate them. I thought it was really fun to just go through like a mall and grab a pot or a vase and just start whacking zombies. I had a good time with it. It says it's a exclusive to Xbox 360. I believe it has since been released on other systems as well, so this is a little bit outdated news, but definitely a fun game. I enjoyed this. And there's also Dead Rising 2. Now, I think this might be one that I spent more time with than the first one. I honestly can't remember. They all kind of bleed together to me, but more of the same, honestly. Just hacking and slashing at zombies and just really mindless stuff. Then we have Dead Island. It's almost the same premise of Dead Rising, but now you're on an island. I had a lot of fun with this one. I know that there's a co op mode on it, which I think would be a lot of fun too. Haven't had a chance to play it in co op, but it's really fun to just beat up zombies on a tropical island, and you never know where they're going to jump out at you from. Okay, I sense everyone is getting ready to judge me for this one. This is Dead or Alive Extreme 2, and this is a still sealed copy. So the story behind this is I purchased it because I saw it was available. I'd never seen it before, which is a common trend with me. If I see something that I just had never seen before, I'm going to grab it. But also at the time, I didn't realize it was sealed because my intention in buying it was to play it because I thought I could get some easy achievements because sometimes I go on these little achievement hunting kicks. But being as it's sealed, I'll probably never open this. I'll likely look to acquire a copy of this that's already opened, and I missed the boat on getting a digital copy on the storefront. But it's what you'd expect. You just take people, mainly females, from Dead or Alive, and you're doing things like playing volleyball or going swimming and doing tug of war over water or something like that. So pretty mindless, but should be easy for achievements. Now, this game here, this is actually the reason why I bought a physical Xbox 360 machine during the pandemic. It was so I could play this game, which at the time, this was the only place we could find the physical copy of the game. Dead Smiles. So this is a shoot 'em up game. I also own Dead Smiles 1 and 2 on the Nintendo Switch. My copy on the Switch is still sealed because I have this one and I've played this one. But if you're not familiar with the Dead Smiles series, really, really great shoot 'em up series of games by Cave. Cave, everything they do regarding shoot 'em ups, it's like gold. So um, if you have not played these, I don't want to like spoil anything or tell you too much about them, but if you haven't played them and you're a fan of shoot 'em up games, go find these games and play them. Here's a compilation I've been playing some lately. It's Devil May Cry, the HD collection. So in the last few months, I went through and I played number one, beat number one. I have on my radar to play the second one. So I hate to say this, but when these first came out on the PlayStation 2, I completely missed the boat on them. So for right now, me playing through them is, I want to say, my first time playing them. There was a Devil May Cry game that was released, I don't know, 2015 or 2016 on, I think, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I did play that. That was the first one I ever played. Had no idea about anything with the story. It didn't really matter. I just went through hacking and slashing. But this was my first time actually going back and playing the games that were true to the PlayStation 2 era. So I enjoy them. I can't wait to playing. I can't wait to begin playing 2 and 3. And curious to know if anyone else has fond memories of Devil May Cry. And after I play that series, or that disc, I should say, I have Devil May Cry 4. Very excited for this one as well. I picked this up from GameStop as like $5. This was before the spike in prices occurred, so I was happy to get this one kind of under the radar. Next, we have a racing game, Dirt. I haven't played this one. I think I own some of the Dirt games, at least digitally, on other systems. I haven't really ever spent time with Dirt. I'm sure it's what you would expect from a more realistic car racing game, but I'll play it at some point. Next, I have nothing. Sorry, I have no experience with these games at all. I have no background with them. Dragon Age Inquisitions. I know a lot of people have played these. I know a lot of people love this game. It's from BioWare. So it's the same people that made the. Do they make Bioshock or do they make Mass Effect? One of those, Mass Effect. I'm pretty certain I'll like it when I get to it. I just haven't had the time to get to it. But while we're talking Dragon Age, I also have Dragon Age 2, and I have Dragon Age Origins. So I'll get to them at some point. It's just going to take a time commitment to go through these RPG type games, and I'll figure it out at some point. Next up, the Dreamcast Collection. Now, this is a game that I found in a store, and I had never seen it before. Now, ironically, I do own all four of these games already on the Dreamcast, so I really didn't need this. But I wanted the achievements that came from it. And also, I saw it and could buy it, so I did. So it has on it Sonic Adventure, Crazy Taxi, Sega Bass Fishing, and Space Channel 5 Part 2. I love Crazy Taxi. I have a lot of great memories of playing Crazy Taxi. Sonic Adventure, I never really dove into. I've heard mixed reviews about the first one. I heard the second one is better. The second one also has a crazy price associated with it on the physical Dreamcast market. I think almost all of these games are also available on the Steam store, if I'm not mistaken. At least I know the Sonic games are. Anywho, if you've played the Dreamcast collection or just Dreamcast in general, let me know in the comments because I do have a pretty healthy Dreamcast collection that I will be talking about at some point, and I have a lot of great memories with the Sega Dreamcast. Speaking of great memories, this is Driver San Francisco. So I've never played this, but I played Driver number 1 and Driver 2 on the original PlayStation, and I loved those games. I had such a fun time driving through the city. Specifically in Driver 1, there was a mode where I think it was called Chase or Pursuit or something, where basically you start your level and all the police are on you. It's like GTA 5, like 5-star wanted level. They're just coming at you so aggressively, they're so fast, and you're trying to evade the cops slash survive as long as you can without your vehicle taking full damage. And I remember it was just so fun, especially on the streets of San Francisco when you were like going up hills or down hills and just flying and the cops were flying after you. So I bought this mainly because of the nostalgia of that and because I saw it in the store. But I'm sure I'm going to enjoy this whenever I get around to playing it. I think they also made this on the PlayStation 3 as well. But curious to know if anyone out there has played the Driver series and what you think about that. Here's a game that doesn't get a whole lot of love. This is Duke Nukem Forever. A lot of people consider this to be mediocre. I played this, I think I played it on the PlayStation 3. I really liked it. I mean, I like everything Duke Nukem. So for me, I wasn't really disappointed. It was just the crude humor, the one-liners, the shooting zombies and stuff. It's what I expected, right? I wasn't expecting greatness. Um, Not to say this isn't a great game. It's a great game to me, but it wasn't viewed as a great game by critics out there. Anyway, I like it, and I would recommend playing this to anyone looking for a fun Duke Nukem game. Just don't have too high of expectations about what you're going to be playing. This is Earth Defense Force 2025. So I was first introduced to the Earth Defense Force games on the PlayStation Vita. These are kind of quirky over the top games. You got literally like giant ants and giant like grasshoppers and crap that come to Earth from outer space, and you're a little dude with your assault rifle shooting at the giant oversized insects and trying to help fend the Earth. And there's not much more to it than that. I mean, you're just literally running around for level after level, just shooting at giant insects. I haven't played this one, but I'm familiar enough with the series to know this is more the same of what I've played in the other games. Here's a game I have not yet played. This is Enchanted Arms. I believe this is an RPG. I know there were a lot of games, RPGs that is, that came out on the 360 during this time period. My goal has been to acquire more or less all of them. So this is one of the ones I picked up in that quest. Don't know much about it beyond that. Curious if anyone out there has played Enchanted Arms and what you think about it. And speaking of RPGs, this is Eternal Sonata. I've not played this one either. I've heard it's not too long. I think you can complete it in 15 hours or so. But you cross between dreams and reality. So specifically, I think it's Chopin. Yes, Chopin, the music composer, is having a bunch of dreams, and you're like in his dreams playing. And it sounds really quirky and like it doesn't make any sense. But everything I've heard is this game is outstanding. So I'm definitely going to give it a fair shake at some point. It's been on my radar to play for a while. Curious if anyone out there has played this and what you think about that. And then we have Fable 3. So I played the first Fable. I might have even played the second one. I've never played the third one. So at some point, what I'm going to do is go back and kind of reboot my experience with Fable and work back up to getting to this game. I think all the Fables are currently on Game Pass, which that's probably where I'll play it. It's just so convenient to play that on like the Steam Deck in handheld mode. But Fable, I know people love the series, and I'm sure I'm going to love this game too when I get around to playing it. Here's another game that I picked up on a whim. This is called Fairy Tale Fights. So it looks like it's what you'd expect. A bunch of the Grimm's fairy tale characters getting in death matches, duking it out, trying to kill each other. I gave it a try. I wanted to play it to see if it was what I expected. This game, honestly, is kind of garbage. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe it's pretty awesome and I'm missing something, but The hour or so I pumped into it, I wasn't impressed at all, slash, almost regret buying it. But hey, maybe there's something else there I just haven't gotten to, and maybe it gets better. Who knows? Here's FIFA Soccer 11. Similar to the other FIFA game that I showed, the 2010 version. I probably won't get around to playing this only because it's so dated. Next up, we have Frontlines Fuel of War. So, again, this is just a shooter that I picked up because Xbox 360 does the shooters really well. I have not played it. It looks like it will be a lot of fun. Curious if anyone out there has played Frontlines and what you think about it. Here's a game I bought on a whim. It's called Full Auto. It's titled on the back as the most sensational car combat ever. I don't know if that's true or not, but again, I was a big fan of the Twisted Metal series. Also, even you could throw Vigilante 8 into there. I'm hoping this is kind of in the style of those games, but it looks fun on the back. There's a bunch of cars blowing up and exploding, so I'll give this a try at some point. Next up, this game and the two that are going to follow it need no introduction. This is Gears of War. I played the heck out of this game when it first came out. I loved going through and doing co op with my buddies. I think we spent like a full night in college just playing through it and beating it, beating the campaign, I should say. This was a lot of fun. And I remember for the longest time, this plus Halo on the 360 is like the 1 2 punch that PlayStation and Nintendo just weren't even touching or competing with. So great series, great franchise. If you live under a rock and have never played Gears of War, please go check out this game. And then I also have a loose copy of Gears of War 2, as well as Gears of War 3. So these are games that I played on the either Game Pass, or I had friends in college that had it that we played. And my copies are loose because just buying a lot of games, I picked up some discs that were loose in the lot that I would buy. Those are two of them. It'll be really easy to upgrade those to being complete in box copies. I see them at GameStop all the time. It's like $5 or $6 each for the game. I'll do that at some point, but for now, there's no real pressure for me to complete the collection of those just because I've played them, I've beaten them, I've enjoyed them. It's not like the price is going up or anything, so we're okay settling put for now. Here's another game that I recently completed. This is the Ghostbusters video game. Now, I forget who I was watching, but someone that I follow on YouTube was saying how this was such a great game, and it is a great game. But I think it was so overhyped for me. There were some levels in this where what I was trying to accomplish or the objectives just felt a little tedious at times. But take that out of it. I did like the originality they put into this. Like, they give you a character that you're playing as who's basically a new member of the Ghostbusters team. There's all the original voice actors playing the other characters, like Dan Aykroyd and what have you. And it feels like its own movie that was never actually made into a movie, just made into a video game. So I like that about that. This was a good game. It was a great game. I just think it was so hyper inflated in terms of how great it was that when I went in and got frustrated with little things, I was really frustrated, which is probably unfair on it. But curious to know if you've played this and what your thoughts are on it. Next up, Grand Theft Auto 4. So I never played this on 360. I actually played this on the PlayStation 3. I loved number 4. I gotta say, I think I like number 4 more than number 5, at least for the story and everything. I also really like the setting being in New York City versus Los Angeles. But I had a great time with this and all the DLC that came out for it as well. And then I also own on the 360 Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, truthfully, I own this game on pretty much every system it's come out for. I have it here, I have it on PS3, I have it on PS4, I have it on Xbox One. I almost bought it on PlayStation 5, but there's no need with my PlayStation 4 copy. And I own it on the Steam Deck or Steam. So I love this game. I know I just talked some smack about it and how I liked 4 more, but don't get it twisted. I love number 5. Great game. Next up, Guitar Hero 2. I remember back when Guitar Hero was all the rave, especially in the days of the PlayStation 2. That's where I played a lot of it on. And then by the time it came out on the Xbox 360, I was kind of just burnt out on all of it. So, admittedly, this is a game that I picked up either from a lot of games that I had bought or just saw it for like $1 and grabbed it. But I can't remember if I've actually played this one. I mean, they're all starting to blend together to me, but Guitar Hero, it's a lot of fun. Now, I also have Guitar Hero Legends of Rock. Now, I can confirm I have not played this one, but it looks pretty awesome. It looks like it has some exclusive tracks that aren't in the other games, and I'll give it a try at some point. Here's a game that I beat recently, Gun. Now, I want to say this also came out on the original Xbox and the PlayStation 2. Might even come out on the GameCube. I can't remember. But I played this expecting kind of like a Red Dead Redemption sort of game. And it was, but I guess I would call it like a poor man's Red Dead Redemption. I did have fun with it, don't get me wrong. I think I'm just a sucker for games where you ride horses and shoot pistols and either be an outlaw or catch outlaws. So I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't really call this a quote unquote great game. I wouldn't recommend you go out and spend your hard earned money on it. If you can find a copy for a cheap price, it's worth your time. But curious to know if you've played Gun and what you think about this. The next three games, they don't really need me to spend any time talking about them, but it's Halo 3 ODST, and Halo Reach. Now, admittedly, these copies I've not touched them because I have the Master Chief Collection on the Xbox One. Those are also on Game Pass. I played all these games over there. I can't remember if I beat ODST or if that's one that I'm still working through. Same thing with Reach. I'm a little confused on where I stopped on my main campaigns of Halo, but it's Halo. You play as the Master Chief, you run around, you shoot aliens, and try to save humanity. So, a lot of fun. Here's a game I've not played, but I've heard great things about. This is called Homefront. It says it's from the writer of Red Dawn and Apocalypse Now. So I've seen the movie Apocalypse Now. It's a fun one. I'm sure I'll like this whenever I get around to it. Again, just on that same theme of Xbox 360 cranking out shooters. It's one of the ones I had to pick up, which I'll play at some point. Next up, we have a game called Inversion. And funny story, I look at this guy and I think of the main character from like either Just Cause or one of those other games that came out around the same time. He just looks like a generic dude that you see on every type of shooter game. But anyway, I've not played this one either. This is one that I recently picked up as the Xbox store was closing. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it because I've heard great things about it. It looks like you literally turn the world upside down, hence the title, Inversion. I don't know if I'm actually going to really like that or if it's going to make me like sick with motion sickness or like mess with my brain with everything being upside down, but we'll see. It should be a fun time regardless. Next up, John Woo presents Stranglehold. I've not played this game, but I've heard that a lot of the action is stylized in that Max Payne slash first Matrix movie where things kind of go in slow motion. You can dodge bullets and like fire stuff back at your enemies. So I'm sure I'm going to have a great time with this when I get around to playing it. Curious to know if anyone out there has played this one and what your thoughts are on that. Next up, I put in probably 12 or 15 hours of this game. I need to go back and give it more time. This is Killer is Dead. Now, I think this is the sequel or the follow up, which I guess a follow up is a sequel to Killer 7, which was a GameCube game. I've not played that one. I started here. It's a very weird game. You play as this dude, Mondo, who's like an agent of some sort, and he's got, it's either his right or his left arm. It's like completely over enlarged. I can't remember if it's a mechanical arm or he's just like deformed, but it's really weird. And the art style is kind of like creepy and trippy, and it it's like a hack and slash sort of game where you just go through and it's like a Devil May Cry sort of style of play. But the story was just felt like it was all over the place. That's why I really had a hard time sticking with it. I'll get back into it, but it's definitely interesting. I think it's also on Steam as well. Here's a game I've not played, and honestly, I'm not going to play because it requires the Connect, and I don't really feel like going down that rabbit hole of setting up my Connect and getting involved with those games. But this is called Connect Adventures. It looks almost like it's Xbox or Microsoft's answer to Wii Play or Wii Sports or whatever. Um, I'm sure back in the day it was a lot of fun, but I'm never going to get around to this. Here's a game I know nothing about. This is Kingdom of Amalur Reckoning. It looks like, I don't know if this is an RPG or like a fantasy action game. I don't know. If this is any good or worth playing, please let me know in the comments, because again, I know nothing about this. This is something I just picked up as the store was closing. Next up, Lego Batman. I played this one a little bit. I love Batman and everything about Batman. The Lego games, I feel like they kind of oversaturated the market though, because there's just so many of them, and kind of got burnt out on them. Like after a while, there's only so many Lego pieces I can collect, and you run around and you're trying to get these pieces and unlock stuff, and yeah, it's fun. But after doing that with Batman and Star Wars and Harry Potter and Indiana Jones and whatever else, I just kind of got tired of it. So sure, I'll get back into this at some point, just because I love Batman. And I mentioned Indiana Jones. Here is the Lego Indiana Jones movie. Game, I should say. I played this a little bit. I think I started out with Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it was kind of cool. If you've seen the movie, how there's that giant warehouse where all the boxes are. I was in a level where you were in that in this game, and just breaking stuff and collecting Lego pieces, but didn't really go any further than that with this. It was cool to have the whip and like lash the whip at things and climb up like that, but I'm sure it's got a lot of other great points to it. Here's a game I was seeking for a long time. I honestly probably overpaid on it trying to get it, but this is Lost Odyssey. This is exclusive to the Xbox 360. This is an RPG. Now, certain people out there on the internet, mind you, certain people, I don't know who they are, just people on like Reddit or whatever threads, some have said this is like among their top 5 or top 10 RPGs they've ever played. This one got so much hype. I played it. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to take away from it that it's a top 10 RPG I've ever played in my life. No. But it had a unique premise to it. It had a unique story. I liked the characters. I liked a lot of things about this game. Now, I did get stuck at one point in it where I had to put it down for a few months, and then I came back and picked up where I was and just kind of grinded and got my levels up and finished the game. Um, but I feel like the story didn't have enough going to really pull me in like I wanted it to. But it was fun. If you can find this for a good price, and to me, good is like $20 or so, grab it. I think I paid 40 or more for this, but it's worth it at the $20 price point, I'd say. And it's like 4 discs too. It's a massive game. Next up, we have Madden 2010. I'm not going to be playing this just because of the age of it, but I never played this on 360. This is one of the ones I would have picked up recently, just either someone was giving it away or it was in a dollar bin. In that same thread, we have Major League Baseball 2011. Same story. I'm never going to play this just because of the age of it. Next, we have Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds. I have played this. This is another one where I hooked up my fight stick to the Xbox 360 and played it. I have a Marvel vs. Capcom game on my Steam Deck also, and I think I also have it on PS4 and other places. These are a lot of fun. I've never really gotten too far in them, meaning I've never like completed a main story quest or quote unquote completed the game. But I love all the depth they have with the different characters from both Marvel and Capcom. And it's cool. You have a team that you can fight with, and I love the animation. In my intro video, the very first motion clip used with Deadpool, it's from one of these Marvel vs. Capcom games. So I'm a fan of the games. I really do like them. I need to spend more time with this and go a little bit further with it, though. And then a game that no one's ever heard of, no one's ever really reviewed or talked about, the Mass Effect trilogy. So this includes 1, 2, and 3. I own these games. I want to say I also have them on PlayStation 3 and the Xbox One. I almost bought them on Steam Deck only because they go on sale on Steam all the time, but I played them and beat them on the Xbox One. I know a lot of people I think they say 2 is the best one. I actually like number 1. I know 1 gets a lot of crap for either the control dynamic or like aiming or shooting or whatever, something silly like that. 1 to me was my favorite. I thought it was great. In terms of how 3 ended with the story, I'm not going to spoil it if anyone out there hasn't played that game yet, but I remember at the time people walked away a little disappointed with how the story finished. I gotta say, I was in that boat, right? After you invest so much time with these 3 games, you kind of want something more memorable. And the options presented at the time, the path of 2 or 3 different endings you could have had, I feel like they might have missed the boat on that a little bit. But that aside, love these games, love the Colonel Shepard character, had a great time with them. I'll be honest, I'll probably go back and play them again at some point. So definitely recommend the Mass Effect series if you've never played them before. And I was late to this series. I didn't play them when they first came out. I was probably 10 years to the action. So it's still worth playing today. I got to say that. Next up, we have another game that I'm never going to get around to playing. It's the Masters Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2012. I'm sure it's a lot of fun. I'm sure it's a great game, but I'm not that big into golf unless it's like Mario Golf. And just, I'm sure this game is going to show its age, being 13 or 14 years old at this point. Next up, a series I've never played but hope to get into. This is Max Payne 3. I can't remember if I own the other Max Payne games. I might have them on PlayStation 3. I'm not sure. I'll have a video on my PlayStation 3 collection coming out soonish. But it's Rockstar. I do love Rockstar. The games that they create, I'm a big fan of. I'm sure I'll love the Max Payne series too whenever I get into them. Next, we have the Namco Museum Virtual Arcade. I played this a little bit, so it's got games in it like Pac-Man, Galaga, Xevious, Mr. Driller, Dig Dug, Galaxian, etc. It's got almost 30 games on the disc, so good value for the money. I think I got this for like $10 or less. I'm very happy with it. NBA 2K11. So I thought it was interesting that they put Michael Jordan on the cover of this, especially when at the time, 2011, he hadn't played basketball in almost a decade. So it makes sense when you see the back and it says "Become the Greatest." I guess they're calling Michael Jordan the GOAT, and that's the whole premise of this game. But I still kind of chuckled when I saw that. And then we have NBA 2K14. This looks like it's LeBron James on this cover. So what an interesting dichotomy going from Michael Jordan to LeBron James. I've not played either of these games. I probably won't because of the age of them. Similar here, trip down memory lane. NCAA football 2011 with Tim Tebow. I remember for the longest time, the Tebow time was a slogan. And then he had his moment in the NFL with that crazy touchdown pass he threw in that playoff game. And we haven't really heard from him since. And speaking of NCAA football 13 with Robert Griffin III. So I'm a Commanders fan. He was the Redskins quarterback for a few years right out of college. Had a great first year with the Redskins and since has kind of floated away. And I think he's now like a announcer on one of the sportscasts or something. But again, the NCAA games, 2 games I'm not going to play. Just they're old, they're dated. I'm sure that they feel as old as they are. Next up, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Now, I'm drawing a blank on these. I feel like these might have been remade or remastered on more recent systems. I might even have this on my Steam Deck and I played it there. I honestly can't remember. I know I haven't played this version. So I'm curious to know out there if you are a fan of Need for Speed as a series. What are your thoughts, and how would you compare Need for Speed to other racing series out there? Is it the top of your heap, the middle, the bottom? Just let me know. NHL 2008. It's a game that honestly, if I were to boot it up, I'd probably play it just to see if I could get into a fist fight on the ice and what that looks like. Here we have what's a Xbox 360 exclusive, Ninja Gaiden 2. I've not played this because I've heard these games are hard as anything. I would probably cry or at least rage quit and throw my controller trying to play this game. I'll give it a try at some point just to confirm it is brutally difficult, but I'm not expecting this will be a game that I actually beat. I might surprise myself, but I don't think so. Next is a game called Automedius Excellent, and let me tell you, there's not much excellent things going on with this game. It's a shoot 'em up game. They really try to stand out. I mean, they've got more modern graphics and like a 3D element to it and stuff. It's fun. I think I got this for $20. But in terms of, the pantheon of shoot 'em up games, this isn't there. This isn't even outside waiting to get into the building. It's not even in the same city. It's a budget title, I guess, at best. But if you can find it cheap, and by this point, cheap to me is like $5. That's what I view this game as. It's worth it for $5. Probably not the 20 that I paid for it though. Next, we have Perfect Dark Zero. So I know there's a lot going on with Perfect Dark in that the Microsoft company corporation they purchased the rights to Perfect Dark, and they spent a lot of time redoing this game or getting it ready for release or significant delays, and it finally came out and all that jazz. I don't think I've actually played this one. I know that's also on Game Pass. That's why I say I don't think I played it because maybe I dabble with it on Game Pass, or maybe I'm just thinking I played the old Perfect Dark on Nintendo 64 on Game Pass. I can't remember. I'll play this at some point to confirm it, but my copy is still closed up from when I purchased it from a game store. Here's a game I played and beat recently. This is Persona 4 Arena. So this one was kind of cool in that it merges the characters from the stories in Persona 4 and Persona 3. Now, Persona 4 is one of my favorites. I put it right up there with number 5. It's kind of like people who like The Godfather, Godfather 1 or Godfather 2. They'll argue all day which one's better. I view Persona 4 and Persona 5 in the same vein. They're the Godfather 1 and 2 of video games, in the Persona series at least. So I really liked having the nostalgia factor for my Persona 4 characters that I loved. They also had the Persona 3 characters, which I played the OG Persona 3, not the remaster remake they put out a year or two ago, but the one that came out on PSP. That game I've talked about briefly before. It didn't really pull me in, but I did like some of the characters. So it was kind of cool going through and seeing what they did of how they mashed it all up. And they were in the world from Persona 4, which was kind of cool. The game itself, I don't remember. I put in like 20 or 25 hours with it, maybe even 30 or 40. I really can't remember. But the end of it, when you finally beat the game, you're like supposed to figure out who the mastermind is that set up this whole thing. And they never really address who it is. It's like a big cliffhanger that drops off. And I've heard that it's like addressed in another game somewhere, but I finished this and I honestly couldn't tell you who the quote unquote mastermind was that staged everything. So I don't know. That in itself was a little disappointing because I felt like the game didn't have a conclusion. But that aside, I had fun with it. It was great. Here's a game I've never played. I picked up on a whim. This is Phantasy Star Universe. And I know that the Phantasy Star series is pretty popular out there. I actually never played the series at all. So I'll give this a try at some point. Curious to know if anyone out there has played this and what you think about that. Here's a game that's still sealed. I think I got it on like a Black Friday deal. This is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Now, I think this game is also on Game Pass, which again is why I've never opened it. But I played Plants vs. Zombies briefly. I mean, like 5 minutes or less. So I don't have a lot of time put in with this franchise. I'm curious to know, though, if anyone out there has played it and loves the series, and if I should, pull the plastic back on this and pop this bad boy in. Here we go with another budget title. This is another Burger King promotional. This is called Pocket Bike Racers, and it looks like you're literally on like mopeds racing around as the Burger King. So it seems pretty stupid. Probably is pretty stupid. Tell you at some point after I play it. Here we have Quake 4. So I played a lot of Quake on the Nintendo 64. I loved Quake. And then I think they had Quake 3 Arena on the Dreamcast, which I also own and I've played a lot of. I haven't played this one. I plan on it, but again, it's in that family of Xbox 360 shooters where I just went trigger happy, pun intended, and bought all the shooter games that I could get. So this is one of the ones that fell into that class. Here we have Rayman Origins. I gotta say, Rayman is a property that when it first came out, or at least when I was first introduced to it, I wasn't really pulled in. I kind of thought of it as like a knockoff attempt to answer like Mario from Nintendo or something like that. I gotta say though, over the years, maybe it's me aging or maturing as a person and a gamer, maybe it's me just giving it a fair shake. I like Rayman. I like this game. I like the art style. I like the platforming. I like the originality with it. It's a lot of fun. And I do own Rayman games on other consoles. Like I have it on Dreamcast and other games, other systems. I just haven't played them. But I'm a fan of this one, a big fan of it. And I have a different Rayman game on Switch that I've played also too. So, it goes to show you can teach an old dog new tricks and you can become fans of things that maybe you once didn't like. Here's a game called Red Faction Guerrilla. I've not played this. I think I also own this digitally on my Switch. If I ever do get to play it, will I play it on the Switch or play it here? Probably here because I want the achievements. Now, it's funny. I talk about achievements. I'm not really an achievement hunter, but I kind of am, If I have the option of playing something on the Switch versus another console where I can get credit for playing, I kind of want the credit for playing it. But I did have a period of time where I found I was going a little bit kind of crazy, just obsessing over achievements or trophies or collecting them, and I realized it wasn't healthy to be that one that pursues them or 100% complete stuff. When you really don't want to play a game, you're just trying to get the achievements or trophies. So I've cooled down from that big time. But again, like I'm saying, if it's multiple platforms, I have multiple copies, I'm going to go the route that gets me the credit for it. Simple as that. Here's a game I hadn't owned until about the last few weeks. Resident Evil 6. I've never played this. This is probably the one of only a few Resident Evil games I've ever played. Resident Evil 3 is another one that I've never played, which I know there's probably going to be some gasps out there. How could I never played that one? Um, I just haven't. I'll get to it. But this is another one I haven't played. I will play it at some point. I've heard it's not that good. I'm curious to jump in and see why people say that. But it was cheap. I was glad to pick it up for $5 or less. Here's another game I have just a loose copy of. This is Ridge Racer 6. I'll eventually get the case and the manual for it. I've never played it. I don't really know anything about Ridge Racer, but someone in my neighborhood was giving it away, so I said, yeah, I'll take it, sure. So, free game, not going to say no to that. Next, we have Rock Band 2. So I never got into Rock Band. I know that back in college when it was first coming out and it was all the rave, people had like the drum set, they had the guitars, they had the singers, they had the whole squad that was playing this. And I think for me at the time, just seeing how people would like get into it, and it was always the ones that weren't good. It was like karaoke, right? The people that always want to sing karaoke are the ones that sound like feral cats. It's kind of the same with this game. Like the people who weren't really skilled were really into it. I think it just like turned me off onto it. Plus, like the barrier to entry, like having all the equipment and where are you going to store all that? And then as time went on and you go into the workforce and you live in a small apartment or condo or whatever, I didn't have room for all that crap. So I just never had an interest in this. I'll get into it at some point. Ironically, after going on that little narrative, I do have I do have a Rock Band drum set. I've got like 3 or 4 guitars specifically for Rock Band or Garage Band in my house now. I've got everything I need to play this game. I have microphones and stuff too. I'll get to it. I just haven't felt like it yet. So curious to know if you've played Rock Band and what your thoughts are. Here's another game that I thought was interesting. This is called Rocksmith, Authentic Guitar Games. I've not played it, but it looks like you can literally plug in a guitar and it will teach you how to play. I think that's a really cool premise. And again, if I was going off an achievement hunting spree, it seems like it'd be a pretty fun one to spend some time with. I talked previously about Rockstar and how I love their games. Here is the one exception to the rule: Rockstar Table Tennis. I bought this because it's Rockstar. But the other flip side of the coin is it's table tennis or ping pong. I hate ping pong. I'm not good at it. That's probably why I hate it. And surprise, surprise, I'm not good at video game ping pong either. I'm not enjoying it. I'm sure this is fun if you know what you're doing. But every time I boot it up, it's not a fun time for me. I hope someone out there can prove me wrong and tell me why I should get back into this game. But until then, I will keep showing no love to Table Tennis by Rockstar. Here's a game I played last year, late last year, and beat it. I love this game. This is Saints Row. It didn't take itself too seriously. At the time, this one felt like a poor man's Grand Theft Auto, but I had a good time with it. I did. And I have 2 and 3 at least on digital copies. And I also own Saints Row 4, which I'll get to this one after I play through 2 and 3. Clearly, number 2 is next up on my radar. But I've heard that starting with 3, they just start getting way over the top, like spoofs of GTA, and they're obvious in their attempt to spoof it and irreverent with their comedy and humor and everything. So I'm looking forward to the outrageousness of it, but I did appreciate the first game where they attempted a more serious approach to the genre. Here we have Saw 2. Now, this one's become a little bit more collectible in recent years. I remember even before the Xbox 360 market kind of jumped up and spiked, this was always kind of hard to find. And I remember at the local game store, this is one of the ones that was away from the general Xbox 360 population, kind of behind the counter on its own shelf behind glass, that whole thing. I bought it because I'd never seen it before. And I'm a fan of the Saw movies. So this one, it's everything I have played a little bit of it. I played probably 2 hours of it, but the controls feel a little bit difficult at times. And everything I've read about it, people don't really think highly of this, like it's not a good game. But it was entertaining for me, the little bit that I played. And I'm sure that if I gave it more time, I would get into more scenarios where I just like had more fun with this game. But I don't really think it's going to be a quote unquote great game. It just might be something that I have a little bit of fun with, and that's okay with me. Here's another one that I got for free from the neighborhood. Someone was giving it away. This is Sega Superstars Tennis. I've never played it, but honestly, it looks like Sega's answer to Mario Tennis. I'm just not as familiar with all the Sega characters as I am like the Mario characters, so I haven't really had any desire to play this. I'm sure I will at some point just to give it a whirl, but it's tennis. And next up, this is still sealed, but this is the Silent Hill HD collection. This includes Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3. And honestly, now that they've remastered, remade Silent Hill 2 on all the modern consoles, I'll probably just play it over there and keep this sealed. Um, I have heard, though, that some of the things they did with the remaster recently, there were some little tweaks they made that may not have been true to the original. I don't know. I've never played number 2. I played through the first Silent Hill. I never beat it, but I got pretty far into it. I've been meaning to play this, meaning to get around to it, but it's still to be determined whether I actually rip the plastic seal off this and play this or acquire it some other means. But curious to know if you've played Silent Hill and what you think about the series as a whole. Okay, next up is another game that I haven't played yet, but I saw it in the store and grabbed it. It's called Singularity. Now, it looks like you are fighting the past to save the future to stop the singularity, whatever that means. I'm sure I'm going to like it. It looks like it's a shoot 'em up game. So, by shoot 'em up, I mean first person shooter, not a shmup. So, I'm sure I'm going to really like it. Next, just like Grand Theft Auto 5, a game that I own on pretty much every system, Skyrim. So I don't think I actually have played this copy because I play Skyrim on my Steam Deck. I play it on my PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. I don't really have a need to play it here. I will say, though, the Xbox version, so I can't remember if it's this one or just the Xbox One, but the Xbox version of Skyrim has access to more mods than the PlayStation version. I think the Steam version, since it's PC based, or Linux based, I should say, has more of the mods too, which I've not spent a lot of time with the mods in Skyrim, but man, the things that I've read is that it completely changes the entire game experience and dynamic. So, curious to know if you've played a modded version of Skyrim and what your thoughts are on that. Here's a game that I own on Steam, but also here. This is Sleeping Dogs, and it's the Walmart version. Now, I'm not really into collecting all the different releases or versions of games, but I will say if I see something that sticks out like a Walmart stamp right on it or GameStop or whatever, I tend to pick them up just because I know that some people out there go a little crazy for those little odd variants. So this is a game I have not played yet, but it has been on my radar for like 10 or 12 years. I'm going to get to this. I'm sure I'm going to really like it. But if you've played this, please let me know in the comments. Here we are with the last of the trilogy of the Burger King video games that came out. This is called Sneak King. I've not played this one either, but what I'm told is you literally go around the game with Whoppers or hamburgers or whatever you have. You're trying to sneak them to people and hand them to them, which sounds really stupid. And looking on the back of the box, you see the king with a Whopper literally handing it to someone on a plate. So probably stupid, but again, hey, if I was looking to just hunt for achievements, probably be really easy to rack them up in that game. Next up, Soul Calibur 4. I really like the Soul Calibur games, and I love how each of the games that come out, there's some sort of variant characters. This one's got Yoda. I feel like the other version on PS3 might have had Darth Vader or something like that. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this series. Every time I see a Soul Calibur game that comes out, I pick it up generally. A lot of fun. Here's a game I acquired recently, and by recently I mean the last 2 weeks or so, and I've been playing it actively. This is Spider-Man Web of Shadows. So this one's interesting because Venom is the primary villain, but also Spider-Man himself is under the influence of that mysterious, like, goo, plasma, whatever, that has infected Venom. So he's got, like, the dark black suit that he can wear, or the traditional red one that he has. But this game also gives you the choice of controlling the dialogue options of Spider-Man. So, for example, if you want to be a jerk and go down the route of the black Spider-Man suit, you can do that. If you want to be more of the wholesome red Peter Parker version, you can do that too. So I'm right now playing under the dark Spider-Man guise, just, being kind of selfish with that. And I'm having fun with it. Now, I don't know if I would call this like a great game. I mean, if you play this after playing Spider-Man or Spider-Man 2 or the Miles Morales version on Miles Morales, excuse me, Miles Morales version on PlayStation, this doesn't hold up to those. Take that out of the equation and just play this for what it is. It's fun. I'm enjoying it from that perspective. It's great. But is it holding up to the other more recent Spider-Man games? No. There were about 6 different Spider-Man games that came out on Xbox 360. This is the only one that I own, but I'm looking forward to playing the other ones as well. Here's a game that I don't know anything about. This is called Star Ocean: The Last Hope. I think this is an RPG because it was made by Square Enix. But if you've played this one, let me know in the comments, please. I'm curious to know if it's any good. Next up, we have Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. Now, I think this is also on Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken. I think I've played it over there. I know this game was also released on multiple systems, and sadly, it's one that I just don't think I've actually played through or completed. So I'll give it a try at some point and just spend a little more time with it. Next, Super Street Fighter 4, the Arcade Edition. So I spent some time with this, again, with my arcade fight stick. Had a lot of fun with it. I'm going to have to spend more time with it to really enjoy it, but I had a good time with it, a little bit of time I spent with it already. Here's another game I have still sealed. So I picked this off of Amazon for about 20 bucks. This is Tales of Vesperia. I don't know anything about it, but it looks like it's an RPG. Again, I picked it up because it was 20 bucks brand new, and I got this a few years ago. So I'll probably play it at some point. I'm not sure if this came out on other systems. I feel like this had to have gotten a Switch release. If it did, I might just play it over there and keep this sealed. But curious to know if anyone out there has played this and what you think of it. Here's a game I played and beat last year. This is Tenchu Z. Now, I went into this, I'm a big fan of Tenchu on PlayStation, so like the original Tenchu game. I played some of the ones that came out on PlayStation 2. They were okay, but this one I'd heard a lot of great things about. I played it and I felt like the gameplay was cookie cutter. It felt like it was rinse and repeat. And the story was kind of bland. So I soldiered through and I did all the missions and beat the game, but I didn't walk away with like a memorable experience. Whereas like Tenchu, the original one on PlayStation, I still remember all the levels. I still remember the feeling of playing that and completing it. I still talk very favorably of that. This one, am I going to remember in several years and recommend to people, or will it fade into obscurity? It's more in the latter, but for what it's worth, it was fun. If you can pick it up at a cheap price, I recommend it. Don't overpay for this game if you're going to get it. Here's a game I've sadly never played before. This is Terraria. It looks like it's pretty fun on the back. I mean, I know that people swear by this game and love it. I just honestly don't know anything about it, and I've never popped it in, but I'll give it a try at some point. I picked it up because I've heard good things about it, and a lot of the ratings on it say it's like a 9 out of 10 game, so I'm sure it will be worth my time whenever I pop it in. Next up, the Beatles rock band. So I'm a huge fan of the Beatles. I love their music. I think it's pretty cool if you go back and like look at their history. They put out all of these albums and changed their style of music, of sounds so significantly all throughout like a 10-year window. It's crazy. You know, they went from being like boy bands to like actual rock act. So I've not played this. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's the Beatles. I'm sure if and when I play it, I'm going to love it. Here we have the Bigs 2. This is a baseball game. Have not played it. Don't know if I will. I mean, if it has a home run derby, sure, I'll give it a try. But baseball. Here's another game I've not played. This is The Last Remnant. I know nothing about it, but it kind of looks like it might be like a Dynasty Warriors type of game. I'm not really certain on that. If you played this, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know if this is any good. Next, we have the Orange Box. This includes Half-Life 2, Episode 2, Portal, and Team Fortress 2. For the longest time, I heard this was like one of the must-own games, like one of the best deals in gaming. I've not really spent a whole lot of time in this, mainly because I was still working through finishing the original Half-Life before playing Half-Life 2. Portal, I think I have that on my Steam Deck, so I was playing Portal over there. And then Team Fortress 2, I can't remember if that has a campaign mode or if that's like multiplayer only. But anyway, I'll give this a try at some point once I'm ready for the second Half-Life game. But I've heard nothing but great things about this compilation pack. Next up, another shooter game. This is called The Outfit. I know nothing about this other than just looking at the back of it. It looks like your standard Call of Duty or Battlefield game, so I'm sure I'll have a good time with it whenever I put it in. Here's a game called The Testament of Sherlock Holmes. Now, I'll be honest, the only reason I bought this is because Atlas right there. Atlas, I believe, is just the publisher, not the developer, so I'm not really big onto Sherlock Holmes. I've never really been interested in Sherlock Holmes. If this has like murder mystery stuff, I'll probably give it a try just because it's Atlas, but it was cheap enough. That's why I picked it up. But I mean, I'm telling you, that's the power of Atlas. It gets me buying stuff I might not even be interested in. Here's a game I've played a little bit. I didn't actually finish it, but I enjoyed the time I spent with it. This is Walking Dead Survival Instinct. So I remember 10 or 12 years ago, The Walking Dead was immensely popular. And I feel like they oversaturated things. They just kept pumping out episodes and spin-offs, and the story kind of like a roller coaster went up and down. I lost interest somewhere along there, but the game is still a pretty fun game where you're trying to survive, and it's really the whole point. It's just the survival element to it. It doesn't try to do more than that. So I like the time I spent with this game. Next up, The Witcher 2. This is the Assassins of Kings Enhanced Edition. It's in a big fat box with all these goodies sealed up in it. I've not played this. I think I also own the digital copy of this on my Xbox. I've played Witcher 3. That was the first one I ever started with. And I'm now currently playing the first Witcher on PC. Whenever I finish that, I'll boot this one up. But I'm doing it in kind of like a Quentin Tarantino way, like Pulp Fiction with the different chapters of the movie or whatever. I'm doing it all out of order. Um, if you play this, let me know. I'm curious what your thoughts are. I'm sure it will be good because it's The Witcher, but just curious to know still if anyone's played this. Here's another game that was an Xbox 360 exclusive. It's called Too Human. I don't know anything about this. I grabbed it because it was an Xbox 360 exclusive. And over all these years, it's stayed true as a 360 exclusive, meaning has been ported over to Switch or somewhere else, like some of these other games have. So I'll give it a try at some point for that reason alone. But I'm curious to know if anyone's played Too Human out there and what your thoughts are on this game. Here's another fun one that I picked up. So this is a triple pack. It's got Trials HD, Limbo, and Splosion Man. So I picked this up mainly because there are some games on here like Splosion Man or even Trials HD that were only on the Xbox Store unless you got this compilation, right? So, like Explosion Man, for example. If I didn't have this compilation, Explosion Man would forever be lost to me. So, I paid like $50 for this for that reason. I wanted those games before they disappeared forever. So it was worth the money for me from that perspective. I had a lot of time, a lot of fun playing Trials HD. It's very physics driven, and the mechanics of it really, push you to get the jumps and timing right, but also do it quickly to pass the level. Limbo, I spent a little bit of time with, and then I got stuck on something. So another pun, but I'm in limbo on that game. And then Explosion Man's fun. You literally just like make yourself explode and try to platform through levels. So really good value to get 3 games on here. So I'm happy with this. Next up, another game that I've never played. I know nothing about. It's called Two Worlds 2. When I bought this, I actually had Two Worlds, the first one in my hand as well, but that one didn't have the manual with it. I like buying games complete in box with the manual when I can. That was one where it's like I'll see it again at some point. I'll get it with the manual. I don't really feel like buying it without. But anyway, I won't play this without playing the first one. And I know nothing about these games. So if you've played Two Worlds, either the first one or the second one, please let me know because I'm curious to know if these are any good. Next, we have Unreal Tournament. I'm not sure if this is available for single player mode or if it was an online only. I'll boot it up and give it a try, but Unreal Tournament. What can I say about them? They're pretty popular and they're pretty good games. Here's one that I've heard the price has been going up recently. Now I don't really know what the price of this is because I'm not actively tracking it. I got this game for like $5 several years ago, and I bought it mainly because I'd never seen it before. I didn't know anything about it, but it's called Velvet Assassin. I still have never played it, but it looks like you just run around as an assassin and do assassination missions and try to play with stealth. So that's really all I know about it. I'm not sure if this is any good or not, but let me know in the comments if you've played this one. Here we go. This is Warriors Orochi. I believe this is like a Dynasty Warriors sort of game. I have not played this. Again, this is something I got just because I was going gung ho about Xbox games before the store closed. I'm sure I'll have a fun time with this, regardless of if it's good or bad. Then we have Wolfenstein: The New Order. I played the Wolfenstein game on the PC. I've not played this one, but I'm sure I'll have a good time with it. And last but not least, the Xbox Live Arcade is a compilation disc of various arcade games. Looks like it has Feeding Frenzy, Luxor 2, Uno, Boom Boom Rocket, and Pac Man. So, fun little compilation there. Okay, so that's my Xbox 360 collection. I'm really happy with it. I think there's a lot of diverse titles. There's a lot of different things going for the Xbox 360. And there's a lot of games here that I haven't played yet, but there's also a lot of things that are worth playing. So please let me know in the comments if any of these games that I said I haven't played need to be elevated to the front of my backlog. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.